All right, so welcome to the day 5. So let us get started. So before we go ahead with the fifth session, let us understand the concepts that we have discussed at a high level, and we will then go to the day 5 session. So in the first session, we have understood what is Pega Decisioning. So Pega Decisioning is nothing but it contains the logic to identify the next best action. Okay, it is nothing but next best action. That is nothing but the right offer to the right customer at right time, and it does not have any features to communicate to the customer, right? Only Pega decisioning is completely used for identifying the next best action. Now coming to the Pega marketing, so features to communicate the next best action identified by Pega decisioning. Okay, like we have the email channel, SMS channel, website channel. So different channels are there through which we will be communicating with the customer, through which we will be communicating with the customers. Now in the Pega marketing, we have two types of marketing: inbound marketing and outbound marketing, right? Inbound marketing and outbound marketing. So inbound marketing is nothing but where customer contacting the business and business is promoting the offer. Okay, that is the inbound marketing. Coming to the outbound marketing, business only contacting the customer without customer contacting the business, right? So that is the inbound marketing and outbound marketing. As part of inbound marketing, we have website. For example, customer will open the website, customer will open the mobile application, customer will do the inbound calls, like this. So all these channels are present in the inbound marketing channels. Coming to the outbound marketing, we have email, SMS, push notifications. All these are the outbound marketing. Okay, so all these are the outbound marketings. So that's what we have seen in the first session, and in the second session we have started with the environment preparation. As part of that, we have to classify the nodes with the services. We have to classify the nodes with the services, where we have mapped the nodes. For example, we have some decisioning services that needs to be enabled on our servers so that we can do the decisioning implementation without any error. As part of that, we have enabled the main decisioning services, that is ADM, which stands for Adaptive Decision Manager. So this is the service that is responsible for adaptive models and predictive models to work. Okay, that's the ADM service. Then we have DDS, which is the Decision Data Store. This is a service that is responsible for the Cassandra database, right? Along with these two, there are other services like real-time, RTDG, and stream. So these are the three services also we should enable for real-time data flow operations. So these are the decisioning services that we need to enable on our servers in order to make sure our servers are running properly and we can do the decisioning without any errors. Okay, so all these are the decisioning services that we need to enable. So then we have understood about the context dictionary. So where we have seen the primary context, which is nothing but the main audience to whom we are promoting. Then we have seen the secondary context, which is the alternative audience and the associated data, which is nothing but the other tables which are associated with each and every context, like the products table, like we have the loans table, credit cards table, which are the associated data of the primary context and secondary context. So then we have also seen the car model, which is called as customer analytics record. Then we have seen the XCAR, which is the extended customer analytics record. Then we also have the NBAD template. So car model is something that is downloaded from the Pega marketplace. For every industry, we have this car model, which contains the properties, tables, and the columns specific to that particular industry. Then the XCAR, which is the requirement on requirement basis you will be creating in your application. Then the NBAD template contains some sample business issues, sample business groups, and sample offers, right? All those things will be there. So then we have created our application, and then we have understood the business taxonomy, which is nothing but the business structure that we need to define, that contains business issue. Under business issue, you will have business groups. Under business groups, you will have propositions, right? Business issue is nothing but our purpose of the promotion that you are doing. Like for example, I want to retain the customers, purpose is to retention. I want to acquire new customers, acquisition. I want to increase the sales, business issue is sales. Now business groups are the categories of the promotion. Like for example, I am promoting a 1 crore personal loan, so my category will be personal loan, and the proposition is anything that you propose to the customer, right? So we have created some propositions in our last session. And we have seen how the propositions can be created. So any questions still here? Any confusion or any questions or anything, or all good? Yes, no, let me know. No questions?
Not at the moment.
Okay, so that is where we have seen. So you can refer the old sessions for any further clarifications. So now let us create the business taxonomy once again. So unfortunately, I'm not able to access the CDH exercise, so I'm creating it in the BPM exercise version. So in order to create the business taxonomy, we have gone to the decisioning, decisions, proposition management, hierarchy. Okay, so you can practice all these decisioning concepts in your personal edition also. That is what we have discussed, right? So I'm creating the business taxonomy once again. Okay, I'm creating the business taxonomy once again. So this is how it looks like whenever you are starting with a fresh project, right? This is how it looks like. So I'm just going to the add a new business issue, and let us add a new business issue. Let's call it as sales. So then I'll give the rule set as this one only, and I'll click on the create. So I'm creating a rules business issue called sales. Now under this business issue, yeah, create a, tell me. Okay, so I'm creating a business issue called sales. Under the sales we have, I'm creating something called personal loans. So sales is the purpose of the promotion. That means my objective my objective of promoting is to increase the sales. That is called as business issue, which is nothing but mainly the goal of the promotion, or the purpose of the promotion is the sales. So I'm giving the name as sales. Now business group is nothing but the category of the promotion. For example, I'm promoting a t-shirt. For example, I'm promoting a t-shirt, so then the group will be t-shirts. For example, I'm promoting a i5 laptop, so then the purpose of the category will be laptops. So
Sorry.
this is the purpose of the promotion. okay, which is nothing but the category of whatever you are promoting.
May I ask a
Something like, for
question, please?
example, credit cards, loans, let us say internet plans, all these are the categories. So if anyone has question, just talk. Okay, just waiting for you to talk. So let me know.
Okay. Can you hear me, Levi?
Cannot hear you. So you're talking. Cannot hear you. It's
Sorry.
very low.
Let me. Okay. What is the problem? Okay,
Sorry.
I'll ask the question later then. But if you can't hear, I'll ask the question later. Let me fix it first.
Yeah, I mean, bit it is somewhat low, but yeah, we can try again now.
Okay, great. So my question is mainly related to when we, as a part of the implementation, when the project is being implemented, do we do this all creation of the business group and business issue through the development studio
Yeah,
or
yeah.
through the CDH portal?
Development studio. You can create
Development.
from there also, but it's up to you. Okay, I'll show you how to create there also. I'll show you where we need to do
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
But either
Thanks.
ways, if you create there, that's fine. If you create here, it's fine. Anyways, it will be in the same application. Wherever you
Yeah.
are comfortable, you can do that. Okay.
But do we have any standard practice? Like where should we do
Nothing,
that?
nothing like
No, we
standard
don't have. Okay.
practice. So
Understood.
for all the
Thanks.
decisioning things, you can do it from Dev Studio or CDH portal, up to you. But nothing recommended, like nothing like that.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So we have also seen the difference between version propositions and unversion propositions in the last session. So like I told you, right, every offer is bound to change. Any product is bound to change. So today it is costing $100. Tomorrow it will cost $150, or it might reduce the price. So anything is always bound to change. So just like how you do in your BPM, you will save as the rule and you will update the value. Same way here also you will save as this and you will update the value. So that's the reason we are creating it as a version proposition data. You can see when I select this option, it is giving me a version, so that whenever I have to modify a particular personal loan, I will save as that personal loan into 010102 and I will update the value. Okay, so that's the reason every time you have to create version proposition data. Okay, so now we have created the personal loans. So let us proceed and let us add some propositions. So I'm just clicking on this. So we have also seen how do we import, right? So how do we import the propositions also we have seen in the last session. So as part of that, we understood the business issue is present under PY issue property. See, all these property names you have to remember. Most of the properties start with PY only. So it will be easy for you to remember. PY issue contains the business issue. PY group contains the business group. PY name contains the proposition name. Okay, the business issue is the purpose of the promotion. Business group, that's a category of the promotion, like the personal loans, credit cards, debit cards, like that. And the PY name, which contains the proposition name. Okay, that means whatever you are promoting, that is a proposition. Like it can be a discount, it can be a coupon, a product, a service, anything that you propose to the customer where you are expecting a response. Okay, so like this we are going to add the proposition here. So before that, let us create the properties as well. So if you see here, I have add a new business issue, add a new group, add a new property. So what is this property here in Pega Decisioning? So property or attributes are simply nothing but the characteristics of the propositions. See, basically what we are doing, for example, I want to increase my sales. Okay, as a banking project, I want to increase my sales. So I am creating the business issue as the sales. And what categories I want to increase the sales? I want to increase the sales of personal loans, and let us I want to also increase the sales of credit cards. So these two are nothing but my business groups. So I can also call it as a group, or okay, this is a group 1, this is a group 2. Okay, this is a group 1 and group 2. Like that I can have any number of groups, and also I can have any number of business issues also. So now let us say if you are creating something like my proposition is 1 crore personal loan. Now this particular proposition will have some characteristics, right? So what I mean by characteristics, for example, let us say what is the EMI tenure, or what is the loan tenure, right? What is the loan tenure? Okay, what is the monthly EMI? See, specifically I am talking about the banking projects. So I am creating a personal loan group which will have some characteristics like this, right? Like the loan tenure, what is the monthly EMI, what is the annual interest, something like this. So these are nothing but the properties of the propositions, which are nothing but the characteristics of the propositions. So for any product or any service, definitely you will have some properties, right? For example, let us say you take something like internet plan, internet plan category, where you have 100 Mbps. Okay, you have 100 Mbps internet plan. So you can have the properties like what is the monthly price, uh, monthly upload speed, monthly download speed. Okay, monthly upload speed, monthly download speed, maximum data. So something like this, right? So these kind of properties will be there for any product, for any industry, any product, any service. You will have some characteristics will be there. So we have to first create the properties before we create the propositions. Okay, so let us go ahead and do that. So I'm saying add new property, and here I'm going to add the property. Let us say we'll take the same example. I'll take annual interest. Okay, annual interest, and of course this is not a text, so I'll give it something. Let us say I'll give it something like integer. So where is this present? It is present under sales personal loans, right? So under sales personal loans, this property will be there. So if my property is specific to personal loans, then you can keep it under personal loans. For example, let us say you are creating a property like customer ID, right? Customer ID. Customer ID can be at top level, right? Because all the issues and all the groups will use customer ID, right? Same way. So just like how you are doing in your Pega BPM, same way you are going to create here also. Okay, whenever you are creating a property, that property, if it is specific to that particular issue and that particular group, then you create under that particular classification here. Otherwise you can keep it at top level. If at all, that property will be used by all the issues and all the groups. Just like example, customer ID or first name, last name, or something like that. Okay, which is specific to all of them. So I'm creating one property called annual interest under sales personal loans. Okay, now same way, let us create more properties here. Let us say I will just add one more property. Let us say something like monthly EMI, and again this can be a decimal, so I'm giving it as a decimal. So I'm saying this should be under sales personal loans. Now let us create a property at a top level. So let's call something like uh, what we'll do, we'll just give some property like uh, description, or let us say, yeah, let's call it something like description. So description can be common for all the issues and all the groups, right? For every product or for every service, there will be some description will be there. So that is common for everything. So I'm just keeping it at top level. Okay, I'm keeping it at top level. Same way, let us create one more property. So I'll create one more property called add new property. So I'll say here loan tenure. So again, this is specific to my personal loans. So I'm selecting sales personal loans, and I'm creating this under personal loans. Okay, now if you open this personal loans, and let us say if you are just clicking on the new button. Okay, so just what you need to do, just save this first of all. And if you go to the form tab, what you need to do is you need to go to the form tab. This is where you need to add all the properties that you have created. Very important, remember this thing. For all the propositions, whatever you are creating here, if you want to add the properties, you need to add the properties in this particular tab, that is in the form tab. Okay, of course we have already created the property. Now the property is already created, just you simply you need to add it here in the form tab. So I'm just clicking on the add field, and if you just type here, you can just get that one. Okay, so where is, yeah, just type it and click outside. Okay, it's not, it's coming right now. That's it. So same way we have created one more property called monthly EMI. So that property also we have created. So I'm just clicking outside. So if you did not create the property, then you just click on this magnifying glass icon and you create it. Otherwise, if you already created, just you can select it here. That's it. So loan tenure, monthly EMI, annual interest. These are the properties that I want to add for my propositions. Okay, that's it. So you see now I have added these three properties: loan tenure, monthly EMI, and annual interest. So now if you go to the data tab and if you click on the new button, so you can see now it is asking you for the details. For every proposition, it will ask you for the details. Okay. So the first thing that you have to do is, first you will be creating the business issue. What is the purpose of the promotion? So generally you don't create it by yourself, because this is very important. So you can check with your lead decisioning architect. You can connect with your lead decisioning architect and you will discuss on the name of the business issue, and then you will be creating it. Okay. After creating the business issue, you will be creating the business groups. You will be creating the business groups. So this also again you will be discussing with your lead decisioning architect, then only you will be creating it. Okay, business issue is the purpose of the promotion, business group is the category of the promotion. So now whenever you are adding a new proposition, every time you add a new proposition, you will be getting this data. So again, if you have the data for that proposition, you can enter the value. Otherwise you don't need to enter the value, it will take blank. So let us give some propositions here. I'll say 1 crore personal loans. So for example, I'll give the annual interest as some 12%. Loan tenure, so I'll give something like 5 years. So again, you can just keep the years interest in the back end. You have to do that. So then we have monthly EMI. Let us say monthly EMI I'm giving like something like 20,000. Okay, I'm giving it at 20,000. So then I'm clicking on the create button. Okay, same way let us add one more personal loan. So let us add something like 50 lakh personal loan. So let us give the annual interest for this as 15%, and tenure I'm giving like 10 years. Monthly EMI I'm giving like for example 40,000, something like that. Okay, let's do 10,000. Okay, so these are the proposition that I want to promote. Okay, these are the propositions that I want to promote. One is a 50 lakhs personal loan and one is a 1 CR personal loan. So under this personal loan itself, I have the annual interest and everything. Every data is there already. Okay, so if I have the data, then you can enter the data and you can save that. Otherwise you can just leave it blank. So we are basically creating the business taxonomy like this. So first we will be creating the business issues, then we will be creating the business groups. After creating the business groups, we have to create the properties first. Okay, so then after creating the properties, then we have to add our propositions. So either you can add manually like clicking on the new button, or you can export it and you can add and you can import it again. Okay, so there you
Ravi,
have to check the column like py issue, py group, and py name. Yeah, tell me.
I have a question.
Yeah, please.
So you have created these propositions, right?
Right.
So you have manually entered the values like 1 crore and the EMI and everything. So
Right.
usually does it generate in the back end, like we write a data transform and calculate them dynamically or something like that, or is it just a value that we are
No, no.
promoting?
Here we have to enter manually. There is no calculation here. But again, I'll show you how to do that calculation. Also, we have the procedure is there. So
Okay.
I'll tell you shortly. I'll tell you.
Okay.
Okay. So like I like I mentioned in the previous sessions, in real time you are not going to enter anything manually. We have to export. First, you have to create the entire structure. Okay. So when I say entire structure, you have to create all the business issues, all the business groups, and you have to create all the properties. Okay, so again you will get all this part of requirement only. Okay, I have created based on my assumption these three properties, but you will get the requirement like these are the fields that should be there, something like that. Okay, so then whatever you are going to promote, they will provide you the fields for those promotions. So you have to create all the fields and you have to export the file, export the template like this. So once you export the template, you can share this template to your business. So you see all the things are coming right now. So you'll just share this you'll share this csv file to the business, and they will add the data and they will send it to you. Like they can add some 200 300 propositions, they will add it to the sheet and they will send the updated sheet to you. Then you'll just simply import it. Okay, so you see py group is the proposition business group. Py name is the proposition name. Okay, remember these things. Okay, py name is the proposition name, py group is the proposition business group, and py issue is the business issue. So one thing which I have not mentioned is very important. Remember this thing. I think I created just for demo, but please make sure py name should not contain any space. Otherwise there will be some issues at the back end while inserting into interaction history and all that, so which we will see later. But py name should not contain spaces. So then where we can give some description, and some short description means you have to give it in the py label. Okay, but py name you don't keep any spaces. If you keep spaces, again there will be you will be facing some issues at the later stage. You will be facing the issues. So py name should not contain the spaces, and you can give the py label with all the spaces and the descriptions like paragraph. You can give it, and whatever the properties that we created, that properties are also coming in the exported file. Okay, you can see right, it's coming here. So like this, you will share it to them, and they will update it and they will share it back to you. Okay, so this is the taxonomy. This is a taxonomy where we have to create the business issues, business groups, properties, and then the propositions. So now, before we go to the, so this is actually called as a generated form. So where we need to provide that. So one more thing that we need to say is, so see whatever we are doing. See basically what we want to do. What is our objective basically? Okay, my goal is I want to increase the sales of personal loans basically, and um, okay, that's it. I want to increase the basically say, and I have two personal loan offers, two personal loan products are there as of now. Okay, I want to increase the sales of personal loans, and I have right now two personal loans are there. Don't say products, I think say two personal loans. Okay, now there will be some requirement, right? For example, if you take, for example, I am taking something like I want to increase the sales, that is a business issue of, for example, let us say um, some furniture products, and this furniture products I am going to promote only during, let us say, Christmas. Okay, see there will be many requirements where you need to promote certain products or certain discounts only during Christmas season. Remaining time we should not be promoting. So that also we can do in our proposition data. So if you go here, I have an option whether this proposition should be active, whether it should be inactive, or within a defined time period. So when I say never, that means even though the customer is eligible for this proposition, still this proposition will not be sent to the customer. You can see the active is false. Okay, that is actually the field, that is the property py is proposition active. So that means you are disabling this proposition from sending it to the customer by making it as inactive. Okay, so active when it is always, that means always enable, always disable. Then we have one more option which is called within a defined time period. See, there is some requirement where we need to promote a particular product only from 25th December to 1st January. That is during the Christmas and New Year time period only we have to send. So that requirement you can do it by using this within a defined time period. So at that time you can just come here and you can select the, for example, I'm selecting, let us say, just you can go here and you can select from 25th December to 1st January. Okay, just say it like this. So then I'm clicking on save. So till that time this proposition will be inactive. Only whenever the system time reaches, when the system time reaches this 25th December, right, then only it will become active. Okay, then only it will become automatically, it will become active. You don't need to do anything. So this is something like a festive discounts, right? Festival discounts, like festival products and festival promotions that you are doing. For example, you are promoting something only during Dasara time or Diwali time, right? So then you will select that particular date only and you will save it. So remaining all the days it will be false, and only on that particular dates it will become true. Okay, it will become true. It will automatically, you don't need to run any agent or something, nothing to do. Automatically it will become true by itself, because on a system in the back end it will automatically check and it will automatically refresh and it will do it. So these three options are there where you can enable the proposition, disable the proposition, or enable the proposition only within a particular time period only. Okay, what it suggests, you can think of the real time situation, like I told, Christmas time offers or Dasara time offers. So like that, you can think of some situations where you need to enable on only on certain time period, and you can do that option. So before we go with the custom form, let us understand about this SR class. So whatever the properties, the propositions that we are creating, where it is getting tagged. So it is getting tagged to a class called SR class. See, in our Pega BPM, all the development that you do will be coming under your work class, right? So you'll have something like work dash implementation class 1, work dash implementation class 2. Like this, you will be having your classes. Same way, all our Pega decisioning rules, they will be present under the class called strategy result class. Okay, SR class or strategy result class. Okay, so this is a class that is specific to Pega decisioning. Okay, this is a class that is specific to Pega decisioning. So all our Pega decisioning rules, they will be stored or they will be tagged under the strategy result class only. Now when does this strategy result class will be created? Okay, see, if you remember at the beginning of our session, when we came to this particular screen, there was no business issue and no business group and no propositions were there. If you remember, only top level was there. So whenever you create, okay, so whenever you create at least one business issue in your application, then the SR class will be automatically created. Okay, so remember this point. Okay, whenever you create the at least one business issue, right now we have one business issue, right? We have one business issue called sales, but when we started this session there were no business issue. That means at that time it is not there. So when you create at least one business issue, then this SR class will be automatically created by the system. So how do I know where is the SR class means? So you need to go to the yeah, if you just go to the here, so my application ID, so that will be like this format, right? Organization name dash application ID dash SR class. So this is how the format will be. Same like your work format only, right? Your work format only. This is my work class. If you just remove the work and if you keep the SR, you see the SR class will be there. Okay, same like, see, this is also same like your work class structure and the work class inheritance. Same thing here also we are doing. So that is the reason I told you, like, we need to be aware of the Pega BPM concept. At least we need to know the Pega CSA knowledge, so that you can understand all these properties. What is a property? What is a data type? What is a class inheritance, pattern inheritance, direct inheritance? So all these things you will know it in the Pega CSA level, right? So that is the reason you need to have the Pega CSA knowledge. So if anyone is not having yet, please go ahead and enroll to the Pega CSA curriculum also. So now you can see I have the SR class created because I have at least one business issue. So now the structure will be again same like you, same like that only. Okay, SR dash business issue dash business group. So this is how the class structure will be. Okay, this is how the class structure will be. The SR class structure will be in this class format only. It will be organization name dash application ID dash SR dash business issue dash business group. So now in our application we have created it. So now how it is present? So something like my town or something is there. So my town dash my town 311 dash SR dash sales dash personal loans. This is how my class structure will be. Now I have created some properties under personal loan, right? So it will be present here, right? That is annual interest, and I created something like monthly EMI. Okay, so this will be present here. So now for example, I am creating something at a top level. Top level means what? This is the top level. SR class is the top level for Pega decisioning. Okay, for Pega decisioning, SR class is the top level. But for your application, what it will be like work, right? For example, if you are working in the case management, your top level class will be work class. Your top level class will be work class. For Pega decisioning, top level class will be SR class. Okay. So for example, if you are creating some property at top level, then it will be under SR, like customer ID, something like that if you created. So you see, for example, I am expanding sales. Under sales, I have personal loans. Under personal loans, I have the properties that I created. That is annual interest, loan EMI, a loan tenure, monthly EMI. Now, if you created something property at top level, then it will be here. Okay, you see, I created description, right? If you remember, while creating the property here, I created something called description at top level, which is under SR class. Okay, so same inheritance concept will apply here also. That means what? That means, for example, I am creating a property at sales. I have a property at personal loans. This will be picked up. Same property, if it is the same property. For example, I want to use a property at SR level, then I can create directly. Then from personal loans, I can use that property that is created at SR level. Right? The class inheritance concept I'm telling. Okay. So same class inheritance concept will apply here also. There is a pattern inheritance. Whatever the pattern inheritance is there, the pattern inheritance will apply, and also direct inheritance will also apply in Pega decisioning as well. Clear till here? Any questions? Any confusion?
Can we see the class definition?
Yeah. So this is the class definition of the SR class. And yeah, so I will just tell you this also. So you are having multiple SR classes concept here, and the parent, okay, the parent of all SR class is nothing but data dash px strategy result. So I know sometimes you might forget, or it might be difficult to remember, but this is the property name. Okay, this is a property name. Okay, so what I was telling is the parent of all the SR classes is data dash px strategy result. So just like how you have, right, just like how you have at the rate base class, parent of all the classes, and again of course at the rate base class is the parent of data at the rate base class is the parent of data dash px strategy result again. Okay, that's the parent of data dash px strategy result, which is at the rate base class. So now all our decisioning properties, right, for example py issue, py group, py name, all these properties are present in or present under data dash px strategy result only. Okay, they are present under data dash px strategy result only. So data dash px strategy result is the parent of all the SR classes. Okay, regardless if you have SR dash sales as personal loans everything, the parent of all the SR classes will be data dash px strategy result. So if you right click and see, right, for example I'm right clicking here and I'm clicking on the inheritance, I can see the parent of all the SR classes is data dash px strategy result. So all our OOTB properties, everything will be present here only, like py issue, py group, py name, py is proposition active or not. So that all these properties will be present in this class only. Okay. So then again, of course, for all the classes, the parent will always be at the rate base class. So this is how the structure. This is how the class structure is there. Okay, got it? Clear? Okay. Okay. Any questions still here?
Yeah, Ravi. When I look into the cloud CDH application, the structure is showing application name, SR dash, and business issue. So there is no RBN.
Application name. Yeah, if you have the see, it's all depends on your uh, application creation, right? So in this particular application, if you have created, if you have given the organization name as a layer, so then organization name will come in the layer. So the checkbox you have to select, right, like generate organization layer. So if you don't select the layer, then it will start with application id dash like this.
Okay.
So it all depends on whether you are using the organization layer or not. Okay, so of course even if you think like this, then we will have the framework layer also before. Not framework layer, here it will be like this. Here generate the framework layer, so we'll have organization layer dash framework layer dash application id like this. Of course if you are not generating this, then directly it will be starting with application id. Okay.
Thank you, Ravi.
Yeah. So now let us proceed with the um, properties. So let us, what we'll do, we'll just go to the propositions and let us see the custom form. So what we have done right now, we have just created the business taxonomy. As part of business taxonomy, we have created the business issue, the business group, the properties, and the propositions. Now here, when we have created these properties, you can see that these properties are all coming like a text input. Okay, these properties, all these properties are coming like a text input. So for example, let us say I have a requirement where I need to select something like the customer type. So for that means I want to send this personal loan, 1 CR personal loan only to premium customers. I want to send it only to the premium customers. Then what I need to do? So let us say I have some different types of customers like basic customer, premium customer, and all that. I need to have a drop down. But whatever the properties that you are adding in the form tab, by default they will be coming like a text input only. How do I add a drop down or a checkbox or a radio button like we do in our sections? So for that we need to select this option called use custom form. Okay, then you can select the option use custom form and submit. So generated form means whatever the field that you are adding in the form field, that is generated form. Custom form means it will again create a section, it will have use a section that is called py edit element. Okay, see again all these are already there, just we are customizing that. So py edit element is the OOTB decisioning section to hold the custom attributes of the propositions, custom attributes of the proposition. Okay, which is called as py edit element, and you can see this is actually circumstance. You can see it's circumstance. That means it will circumstance by the business group name. For example, if you are going to the let us say if you are going to the credit cards group, okay, let us say you have one more group called credit cards. In the credit cards group also, you are coming to the credit cards group and you are clicking on the custom form, then it will be same section circumstanced by circumstance value equal to credit cards. Okay, so always the section name will be py edit element only, so that for example if you are having 100 groups, you will not have 100 sections, right? You will not have 100 sections, you will have only one section, that is called py edit element, that will be circumstanced by the group name. So right now this is personal loans, so we are seeing the name as personal loans. If you are doing the custom form in credit cards, then the circumstance value will be credit cards. Okay, that's what you need to remember, so that it will be easy for us to use and reuse and remember, right? So that's the reason we are using circumstance here. So now again next things are the same obvious common for you and it is easy for you. Simply you just need to click on the edit icon and you can keep whatever the control that you want. Okay, so of course let us keep this as it is. And again I think they have removed the use custom form option itself from the latest version. So I think that's the reason you're not seeing that link. So I'm just clicking on the add button and let us add a drop down. So I'm just clicking on the add button and here I'll just say uh, uh, here I'll just say pickers and drop down. Okay, so let us add the field that we discussed, which is nothing but the customer type. So again all these are Pega BPM concepts, creating the property and all those things. So let us make sure that everyone is having basic CSA knowledge. Okay, I think it's something. Okay, it's already there, so let us give some other name. So I'm creating something called loan customer type. So this is my loan customer type and here I'm giving the local list and let us give the values here. So let us keep something like basic customer and premium customer, and let us say something like platinum customer. Okay, so I'm keeping these three fields and let us saving this. So that's it, and now go back and yeah, let's give the name as select customer type, something like this, and submit, then save it. Okay, so now let us go back and let us just uh, save the personal loans here. That's it. So very important thing that you need to remember is every time if you want some attribute to be displayed in the proposition data. Okay, for example, you will have a lot of attributes, right? For example, annual interest, monthly mi, what is the total price, what is a loan tenure, all these things, whatever properties that you want to update, whatever the characteristics that you want to update for a proposition, if you want to see them on the UI, you need to make sure that property is added here. Okay, since we have added these three, that's the reason they are coming in the proposition data. So if you want to add more fields also, you have to add it here. So we have already created the proposition, we have already created this, right? So for example, if you just come here, yeah, and yeah, so either you need to add it here or you need to add it in the custom form. So you will add it here when you are using the generated form. But right now what we are doing, we are not using the generated form, right? We are using the custom form. So you can see here this decision data rule uses custom form. So custom form means you have to add it in the py edit element. Okay, so you have to add it in the py edit element. For example, you are using the generated form, then you need to add the field here. If you are using the custom form, then you have to add the field in the py edit element section. So you see, that is the reason when I open the when I open the okay when I open the proposition, you can say I'm getting the field that we have added. Okay, so now I'm selecting this customer type as, let us say, premium, and I'm saving. That means this particular personal loan is applicable only for premium customer types. So like this you can create different types of fields. Sometimes some customer types we need to keep, multiple customer types are eligible, like premium, platinum, like that. At the time you can select something like a multi select, right? You can keep a multi select. So again, choice is yours. You can do whatever the logic that you want to do now. Like for example, you can keep a defer load, like you want to do some calculation, you can do some defer load. Or whenever you are changing one particular value, you want other value to be calculated based on that value, then you can again do, for example, you have refresh section, and you can do run activity, run data transform. So like choice is yours. So whatever you want to do, you can do it. Same like core pega only, you can just go to actions and you can say set the value for other value, like that. So you can do that logic. So everything is same as BPM now. So the only difference that we have seen here is, if you want to use some basic text input fields, you will keep the field here. Otherwise, if you have requirement for selections and capturing the selections and options, then you need to use a custom form. Okay, where you need to click on the customize form and you will get the option to add the all the controls like the radio buttons, check boxes. So everything whatever you want to add, you can add it now. Okay, or you can add a sections itself or a drop down, all the things you can add it here.
Ravi, in the same form, can we set the interest rate, annual interest rate dynamically based on the customer type? Let's say for premium customer, I'm offering lower interest rate, and maybe for regular customer, the
So you
interest
have
rate.
to do it in the custom section, like we have seen in the
Mhm.
keyword edit element. on change of on change of customer type, you can write some run activity or run data transform,
Okay.
and then you can do it.
Okay.
Not in the generated form, right? So because in generated form there is no option to write any activities or data transforms. So for example, here I'll keep something like terms, terms agreement. So like you can just on change, you can keep a on change action, and then you can write the whatever the logic that you want to write. Okay, so now if you come here, I'll just say, for example, I agree for I agree to promote this offer only for selected customer types. Something, okay, just something I'm just giving. Okay, so just again based on requirement you can give it, but again I'm just giving it like this. Maybe you need to give a, okay, just a constant value. Okay, so now if you open again, you can see the changes that you have done. Okay, you can see I agree to promote. So like this you can just select and you can do it. So like this, so the ground is yours, so you can keep whatever the fields that you want, like the radio button sections and HTML links. Okay, because it all depends on the characteristics, right? The person will have a lot of things, right? So for which city you are promoting, which city people you are promoting, what is the interest, and you need to select the types of customer that you can promote. So like that, for a requirement there will be different types of characteristics that will be there for every offer that you have, right? And for example, premium customers will have 10% discount will be there. So then whenever you select this on change of that, you need to write some utility to update like that. So like that, all those things you have to do. Okay, like that, all those things you have to do here. So like this we can achieve our requirement by creating a custom form and a generated form. Okay, so since we have a section, you can keep whatever the utilities that you want to keep in the section, like the links, drop downs, radio buttons, check boxes, activities, you can run data transforms, everything whatever you want to run, you can keep it there. There is no restriction here. Okay, so then you will be able to create the perfect proposition having all the data. Okay, all the data of the proposition. So you can just practice and let me know if you face any issues. So Then in the next session we will see how do we actually generate the next best action in the tomorrow session. Okay, that means I have some personal loans. So for a different type of customer, how do we give this one like a next best action? Okay, like a next best action, how do we propose a next best action in the tomorrow session? We'll see. Okay, any questions still here? Understood? Clear?
I have a
Yes.
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So for PY edit element, is it like a PY default in the BPM tool that we have? Is it
Some
similar to the
something like
tool?
same like that. Same like that.
So every proposition will have only one PY edit element section, right?
Right, right. So not proposition, it is at a group level. So all the group, so it's
Okay,
a business group. This is a business group. So
right.
at a group level, you have one PY edit element.
Okay.
Okay,
And
because it's
only that
circumstanced by
will,
group.
yeah, got it.
Okay.
Yeah. Ravi, I have a question.
Yeah,
It is
please.
related to the, yeah. We have like assuming we have a number of SR classes.
Hmm.
So each SR class has its own table, or like
So right now it is not going to store any table. So that's the reason you can see, right? It's not going to store. It's just going to store and map it to the PR other table only. But if you want to store it into a particular table, then you have to do the mapping. You have to do the mapping. So it does not have any storage right now. Okay, so
okay.
it's, you can see here personal loan. This personal loan will be having into that internal table, but if you see the SR class, the SR class will be in the other table only. Okay,
So whatever we are creating, it will go into the other table.
no,
Is
that
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 right?
SR level, whatever you create at SR level, that will be going into the PR underscore other table. But this business groups, whatever this SR dash later you will create, right, like sales for example, till sales or till personal loans, they will be in a separate table. Okay, like, so what I mean to say is each and every group data, they will be present in a particular table here. So you can
Okay.
just see the data here itself. So you can see it is present under yeah, it's present under proposition. Okay,
Hmm.
PR underscore DM underscore proposition. So all your propositions will be all your propositions will be present in this particular table. So in the same table only you will see your custom properties also, whatever you created, those custom properties will also be there in the same table. That is a PRDM proposition. And again, if you want to change it, you can you can change it, right, by using database mapping. You can change it.
So
Okay.
how we are, yeah, Ravi, like, yeah,
Mm,
this answer is good. Like,
mm,
how
mm.
we gonna use this? Are we going to use this information attributes for making the decision during the runtime?
Yeah, yeah, we are going to use. That's the
Okay.
reason we are creating, right? Because we are
Yeah.
creating because we have to make use of them to generate the next best action. Okay,
Yeah.
so that how we are going to do that, we will see it in the strategy session tomorrow. But we are creating them
One
because we
question.
have to generate based on that only.
Okay. Understood. And here one question. In the we have a preposition, right? Ravi? In the preposition, we have both generated and custom form.
Right.
So, is there any chance like we are going to any scenario? Both should be required. Is that possible? Like in any scenarios
Even
where
if
we need
both are required, no, that is not, that's not a valid scenario. Okay, if anything is required or something, you will just keep it in the PY element as required. That's it. So
okay.
whatever it is, required will be on the field, right? Required will be on the field level, not on this one or that one, right?
I mean to
So
ask like they want to dynamically display either generated or custom form. It depends on the type of customer or like user.
why they will display? See, you are not getting the context here. Okay, this is all internal thing, right? Just think from a business requirement perspective. Who will know? Why will the business know generated form or custom form? If you want to show it like a text input, then you keep it like a text input. Everything as text input. If you want to keep as a drop down, then you change it as a drop down. So same again here also. For example, if based on a customer type, if you want to keep it as a text input, then you do everything here only in the custom form only. Difference
Okay.
between that and this is all the fields are text inputs in the generated form. You cannot keep any advanced control. For example, whenever a
Okay.
condition is satisfied, you want to keep text input, then you do it here. You will keep one more field, like you will keep one more control below. If you'll give visibility condition, if that condition is satisfied, show this one. If other condition is satisfied, show the drop down. That's it. It's a basic requirement only, right? So whatever the requirement you have, you can keep it here, but no one knows what is generated form and custom form in the business side.
Yeah, true,
Okay,
makes
they
sense.
will tell you the condition at a control level, like it should be text input when this condition is satisfied, it should be a drop down when other condition is satisfied, then you have to do that logic here. Okay, just
Thanks for
practice the assignment. I will share the assignment so you can get it more better. Yeah, anyway, so if no other questions, let us continue tomorrow, where we'll see about the strategies. All right, see you all then. Let us continue tomorrow.